It was day 2, and once we were done with our afternoon lunch, our host took us to the nearest ghat, which is like 200 meters away from our Airbnb. And the moment we reached there, it felt like we stepped into some movie setup or something. The Ganga was flowing peacefully, there was good air coming in, and people were just quietly sitting there. Everything was just beautiful. Once we reached the ghat, which is Brahma Ghat, our plan was just to sit there and enjoy the view. The flowing Ganga, boats passing by, and it was so peaceful. But our host had a better idea. He suggested we go to, we can go and see Ganga Aarthi, which is happening at the Shashwamedh Ghat. And the best way to get there was a boat. So he even bargained for a private boat for us. It costed around 1500 rupees. If anyone is interested to go for boating on Ganga, I suggest to go for a public boat. You know, it is just to have the experience. Then there are shared boats available, which takes about 25 people, one time, and they will charge you 100 per person. Usually these ghats run from Assi Ghat to Namo Ghat and back to Assi Ghat. So depending on the budget, and sometimes it is also the weather, you can select a private boat or a public boat according to your preference. Normally in Hinduism, Ganga is not just considered a river, she is considered a mother, a goddess, a lifeline for millions of people. From the Himalayas all the way to Bay of Bengal, she flows through many states, blessing the land and people. In Varanasi, there are like 80 ghats, each with its own story and significance. Some are used for bathing, some for performing rituals, and some, like Manikarnika Ghat, for the final rites. These ghats are not just step to Ma Ganga, they are places of emotion, faith, and tradition. Believe me, when we walk in the ghats or when we just sit there in the ghats, it is whole new level of experience. People come here to pray, to find peace, and sometimes to say goodbye. And the best thing about these ghats is they're always active, like from early morning till midnight, full of life yet deeply spiritual. Any ghat you go in Varanasi, you'll find people at any time. This boating experience was honestly the highlight of that evening. As we floated over the calm Ganga, we got to see Varanasi from a completely different angle. Everyone should definitely try this. The ghats, the temples, the lights, everything looked magical from the water. Along the way, we can see many ghats, in which one of them is Manikarnika Ghat, one of the most sacred and oldest ghats of Kashi. It is known for cremation. It is known for the cremations and everything, where people bring their loved ones to their final rites. People believe that if someone is cremated here, they attain moksha, which is called freedom from the cycle of birth and death. It's a powerful and emotional place, and while it may feel heavy, it's so deeply spiritual and respected. Many people from all over the world come to Varanasi just to take one holy dip in Ma Ganga. It's believed that bathing in Ganga washes away all your sins and makes your karma good. For me, it felt like once in a lifetime moment, standing in the waters of Ganga, praying with folded hands, and feeling connected to something which is much bigger than what I think is God. By the time we reached the Shashwamedh Ghat, there were already so many boats lined up in front of us. It looked beautiful, but we realized it is not the best idea to see Aarthi from the boat. Especially if you're not going early, don't take the boat, because I saw Aarthi from two different places. First day is from the boat and second time is from the ghat. I loved the view from the ghat because it is uninterrupted, and the boat thing is something which is very disturbing because you end up sitting very far from the Aarti Ghat and you really don't get to see anything. But if you still want to see Aarti from the boat, like from the river, you'll need to pay extra for most. And most important thing is, you should go at least 3 hours early so that the boat guy will take extra. The good spots will fill up very fast, and if you're stuck far behind like us, you'll get very little view of the Arati. So unless you're ready to plan ahead and wait it out and pay little extra, watching the Aarti from the ghat itself is much better experience. I would not say watching from ghat is always good, but if you're ahead of time, like if Aarti is starting around 7 o'clock, if you go to the ghat by 4 o'clock, you can really get a very good spot. Just look how many boats are already lined up ahead of us. We were quite far back, and honestly, we could only hear the Arati, the sounds of bells, chants, and it was powerful, but we could hardly see anything. We tried to catch a glimpse between the boats, but it wasn't the experience we imagined. So, if you're planning to watch the Aarti from river, just keep in mind the view depends on a lot of things, and you really need to reach very early. One small note here: if you're traveling with kids, be extra careful during the Aarti time. The boats get really close to each other, and sometimes they bump because of the crowd and water movement. Also, make sure to wear the safety jacket. Even if you know swimming, you're an elder, you're a child, doesn't matter. Just wear the safety jacket all the time. It might feel unnecessary for some people, but it really helps to avoid any kind of disturbances or any sudden surprises happening there. Apart from Aarti, boating itself is a really nice experience. Peacefully, scenic, something you shouldn't miss in Varanasi. But just a heads up, if you're on a boat during the Aarti, they usually start leaving even before the Aarti is fully done. Since there are so many boats trying to move in the same direction, it feels a little bit like boat race at a time, everyone trying to exit in the same time. So it's a bit rushed at the end, but still overall it is a good ride which is worth your money. The night view of Ganga from the boat was just wow. The ghats glowing with lights, the river calm and endless, and the cool breeze made everything so special for me. It was one of those moments where you just want to sit quietly and soak it all in. Would you really believe if I say, at some point, I was trying to meditate and I slipped into sleep? I was just sleeping sitting on the boat. Imagine how peaceful, my mind must be at that moment. I'm not tired or I'm not sleepy. I just slipped into that state of meditation, uh, kind of very peaceful kind of thing. You can only experience that. No one could even explain you anything near to that experience. You should directly experience that thing, only then you'll understand. When all the boats are trying to move away from the ghat, it is little chaotic for like 2 to 3 minutes. After that, everything will settle down and you'll enjoy the ride very much. The boat guide dropped us off at one of the ghats. We don't know the name, and from there we asked some friendly locals for directions. Slowly we made our way through the narrow lanes, soaking in the local life until we finally reached the main road to the temple. So we got up from the boat, and we noticed a temple nearby when we were walking on the ghat, which is tilted. The locals say this temple is 9 degrees more tilted than the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It is quite famous locally because despite its tilt, this temple stood strong for many years, and it reminds how old and strong Kashi is. And locals also believe in another story which says this particular ghat is cursed. Even the steps on the ghat are very tilted and teda meda type. And government tried to reconstruct this temple like numerous times and failed. No matter how many times they tried to reconstruct or try to make it straight, it still is tilted like that. People say this is because of the curse of some Muni here. We don't know it clearly, but this is the story that I hear from the locals. And in rainy seasons, when it is heavy time, this will submerge into water. On our way to the temple, we passed by Manikarnika Ghat. All this wood is in the Manikarnika Ghat for the cremation purpose. And from here, we have to go, little ahead, like from where the guy dropped us, from where the boat guy dropped us to the temple's main road, it was somewhere like 2 kilometers, or 2.2 kilometers, and we have to walk all the way because in the ghats we won't get any kind of transport except for the boats. Even the boats won't stop in all the ghats, so we have to walk. If you're someone like me who don't like walking, congrats, you're up for a surprise, because you will need to walk at least 5 to 6 kilometers in Kashi anywhere you go, because transport is not that good. I would not say transport is not good, but transportation is restricted in few areas around the temple. I was really tired by this time, and we had to have this lassi. This is so yummy. There are too many lassi shops in Varanasi, and there are few foods which you should definitely try if you go to Varanasi. No matter which season you are in, lassi is a must. And Varanasi, the Banarasi pan and the kachori and sabzi in the mornings. Also, the locals told me that there is something called malayo, which is only available in winter from December to February or something. So, if anyone is planning to go in that time period, make sure you eat malayo. Finally, we reached the main road, to the temple corridor area, and our plan was just simple. It was just to go for Annapurna Devi's temple and go back to room and have some food. But what happened unexpectedly, instead of going to Annapurna temple as we planned before, we found ourselves standing in a big line. We thought the line is to Annapurna Devi's temple also, but later we knew it is for the darshan of Viswanathji. We thought anyways we stood in the line, so let us go get the darshan done. It was literally not planned, but maybe it was meant to be like that. Like he wanted to see us, so we just went there. Sometimes the best moments come when we least expect them. That is what I felt that day. Yeah, I want to mention one thing, that sometimes the temple corridor is restricted and the vehicles or autos or tuk-tuks are not allowed inside. But we have an option. You can either opt for a wheelchair if you have elderly people, or you can take a rickshaw until where you can get a tuk-tuk. But one tip here is, before getting into tuk-tuk or a rickshaw, you have to bargain your price, or else they will just loot you. And as the day ended, watching the Ganga aarthi and unexpected darshan of Viswanathji left us in deep sense of peace and gratitude. If you ever get a chance, come here and feel the magic yourself. It is truly, truly unforgettable. If you enjoyed the video and if you feel this is informative, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more travel stories. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Bye.